Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. Today we're back with my hitch rack here. This is my Parkway hitch rack here that I got I got this at the beginning of the year, so it's almost been a whole year. It's about a 10-month update on this rack. And I want to go through and what I am thinking of this rack here. This rack has been all the way from Hawaii to where we are now in Reno. Sat in a shipping container for a month, nice hot, all sorts of weather conditions in there. Sat in a storage shed, sat outside on my truck. I have definitely tested this rack out here. So I wanted to give you guys a good, nice review. Let you know if this is a rack that I would recommend for you and what its pros and cons are. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. That means if it's red, that means you're not subscribed. So make sure you hit that red subscribe button. If you already are subscribed and it's gray, make sure you hit that little bell icon right next to that. That way you're notified every time I upload. That way you do not miss a single episode of your favorite cyclist. So let's get you a little closer. Let's take a look at this rack and I'll start talking about the pros and cons. All right, so looking close about this rack here, obviously this is a hanging type rack. If you guys didn't see my first review, my assembly of this, post a link up in the corner here so you guys can take a look at that. But this one is a 2-bike rack here. It is a fold down rack. It can fold out of the way. I'll kind of quickly demonstrate that here. So this will fold down here so it's out of the way. That way you can then access the rear of your vehicle, whether you have a hatch or a tailgate like I do on my truck here. And then once you're done loading it up, you just put your rack right back up here, run the pin right through, and clip it on. Very simple. And the instructions, they do say don't do it with your bikes on there. I've actually done it with my bikes multiple times and I've never had an issue. It seems to hold up very well. And really, I don't want to be taking my bikes on and off. I want to access the back. So I wanted to try it out. Did try it in my last video, in my video where I first went through it just to see if it would work. And I've done it multiple times since then, and I've never had an issue with it. So always be careful with that, but I haven't had an issue with it, which is something I really like about this rack, is I never have to take the bikes off to access anything back here. I did have the spare tire here, which needs to swing out. Obviously right now it'll hit the rack if I go swing it out. So being able to drop it down, swing the tire out, access what I need, slow this tire back up, put this right back up, makes it nice and easy. Now, a couple things about this rack that I'm kind of so-so on is these rubber straps here. They are the hardest things to attach in the world. I've had these on, I have not taken them off. They always kind of stay like this if it's not in use. I have had them kind of open sometimes, and they started to crack, and really, there's really tough rubber. They don't like to, you really gotta yank on those things. You gotta have some strength to them. I can do it. If I had the bike on there too tight, it's a pain to get them off. That's not a bad thing necessarily. I mean, they're hard to get off. That's good. And when your bike's not going to fall off. However, it's a really pain when you really need to get the bike off and you can't get it off. So that's one thing that I'm kind of iffy about these rubber straps. I'm not sure if I use them more. I've used it, I'm trying to think here, roughly about 10 times, I think. If I use it more, I'm curious if they'll stretch out more than that. Other thing about these rubber straps here, I don't know if you can kind of see my hands there, but they kind of shed black rubber on you, and it doesn't come off very easily. You can wash your hands a couple times and it doesn't quite come off. But other than that, they work great. I have this right here. This is for attaching to like your seat post or part of your bike to help stabilize it. I keep one of those on here. I normally only carry one bike on here. I did actually carry 2 bikes the other day, and I didn't even use this here. I didn't use one at all. I actually just used, this rack actually came with some straps here that are adjustable. So I actually just strapped the 2 bikes to the post here, and it worked great. Didn't have any issues, didn't swing around. I didn't have any issues with that. If I was going longer distance, I was just kind of around town, I would definitely put these on just to make sure you have a nice extra layer of security, make sure your bike is still staying nicely attached. All right, so if you guys did watch my last video, where I installed this here, you remember there was one issue right at the end that I never fully addressed. It was that with this rack at its actual length of what it was, how far this went into the hitch on my truck, it didn't quite go in enough to clear my spare tire. It would not fold up all the way, it would not go in all the way, I couldn't close my spare tire. It was kind of a mess. I did mention I might need to get something called a Hitch Extender, which pretty much goes into your hitch receiver and for which increases back up to a hitch again and extends it. I think this one was about a 12 or 18 inch extender here that I ended up getting, and it actually worked out pretty perfectly here. So I did have to get one of those to work with the rack with my truck. Haven't had any issues with that. One thing I did do with mine, so it comes with what they call their anti-rattle here. That's supposed to make it so it doesn't rattle in the hitch. And even just the rack itself, it rattles and it rattled in my receiver, and it rattles in the extender here just by itself. And so, I mean, it's not horrible right there, but then with my extender in the actual hitch, yeah, it wobbles a little bit. I haven't had any issues with it falling out or feeling like it's gonna fall out, especially when you have bikes on here. It kind of pulls back on here and it just kind of moves a little bit side to side, and that's about it. And as you can see, most of the play is actually just in the actual rack itself. So I'm not sold. I've never been sold on the anti-rattle technology. I've worked at shops where I've installed these racks before and people ask me about them, and I've never had much faith in that. Personally, I've never seen it actually work very well. But for me, it works. For me, this rack works very well. For which I have a hitch extender, comes with the bolt that actually bolts to it, so you have that nice bolt security here. And then actually going into my hitch, I have a lock and hitch pin to make it even more difficult for someone to take this, take this off if they want to take it off of my truck, which good luck. I did address that. Get a hitch extender if it doesn't quite fit on your vehicle. Most vehicles you're gonna get, whether it's just a normal SUV, most of them you're gonna have a more modern car. This is older, obviously. You have a more modern car, it's not gonna have a tire carrier for the most part. This will work perfectly fine. You shouldn't need a hitch extender. Just be able to pop this right into your receiver hitch, be set to go. So overall, this rack in the 8 months I've owned it, 10 months I've owned it, has been a very, very nice rack. If you guys are interested in looking at one of these racks, hanging style with 2 bikes, I'll post a link in the description below to this rack here. It's gonna be on Amazon. Awesome company. I do apologize to Parkway for not giving you guys a review earlier. I did say I was gonna give you guys one, and yeah, this whole year's been a whirlwind since you guys sent it out to me. So I do appreciate you guys sending it to me. Hopefully this works for a great review. I do enjoy this rack. If you guys are interested in buying one, this rack comes with all sorts of other goodies with it. You get the rack, you got some straps to help strap the bikes to it, so you don't have to use your bungee cords or whatever else, rope, anything like that. They come with a few different straps, so you can use those. I think it came with like 4. So you can use those. Came with all the straps, rubber hardware, everything you would need. Amazing instructions, came packaged really nicely. They shipped all the way to Hawaii. So I mean, it came really nice for having to ship all the way there. So it was really nice condition, great company. Take a look at them, take a look at their racks. They are a great rack. I have not been disappointed with this one here. And I appreciate you guys watching this video today. If you guys are new to the channel, head down below, hit that subscribe button. Enjoy having you guys on the Your Favorite Cyclist squad here. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon down below. That way you're notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this great content here. This is some awesome stuff coming out here. So I greatly appreciate you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.